Okay. Looks like I am a little bit behind you, and hopefully my video is not going to freak out over it. But I am Chloe, and this is WordStitch. We are without Sandy this week again, but we do have a special guest that I can't gesture right because of how tight that window is. There we go.
Hey, it's Jay. That
um,
rhymes now. Yay.
any any news or intro for you?
Not really. I'm still working on the same
Okay.
freaking book and it's taking forever. I feel like I'm pulling my teeth out.
That's fair. I just had my last book came out on Saturday. And I have it's a really weird and dumb and meaningless milestone, but I have hit 100 reviews on Goodreads. The 100th review was a real weird one, and I accept that. But I feel a little bit more like a legitimate author today for hitting that 100 reviews on Goodreads.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
what are you working on today?
It's the same werewolves thing. It's just that this one final conversation setting up a political position is pulling teeth, but I need to get it done and then I need to move on to the next thing and the resolution of everything. So it's just like all the loose bits and then I've got to go back and do the scenes that I skipped over and bullet pointed again.
That's fair. The boring stuff or the sticky stuff. I get it.
Second
I
draft is going to be a nightmare.
yeah, I'm sitting on one of those right now too. And then I have decided like I've got one thing that I need to edit right now, and I've got that alien project that I'm 6 books into. And so yesterday I was like, I'm gonna start something completely new. And I shouldn't, but
Yeah.
it is part of the series that I am currently working on. So I guess in that sense it is, or like it's in the series that I just published this most recent book in. So I guess it's okay for that. Hey,
Yeah.
Melanie, and hey, Courtney, and I think I saw Devin up there. I did. Hey, guys, let me know what you all are working on. And Jay, I think we're going to go ahead and get our first sprint going.
There
And I
we
may
go.
stop and restart my camera because there is a big delay, and I have a feeling that that is on my end and not yours. So,
Yeah, computers are being weird today.
yeah, it's that day for me. So we will see you guys in 10 minutes. Good luck, everybody. All right, I was totally zoning out there. There you go. Oh, there we go. Let me know how y'all did. I got programs opened and had no idea what I was doing from that point. Oh, and it looks like I'm gonna have to go back into a whole bunch of stuff that I've already written to take notes on things that I should have been way more responsible and taken notes on already, but here we are.
I've got about 100 words and spent like 5 minutes scrolling through Tumblr because my brain is just
That's fair.
rolled over and died.
I have figured out the premise for this novel, which is something that I was stuck on, which is one of the reasons that I had not planned to start this at this point. And I finally figured out the premise, but it's going to involve challenges that I have no idea what some of the challenges are going to be. And I really need to figure those out before I can put everything in an order. Basically, this is electing a new, the way that my world is set up is this is the hell world. And there are actually 7 princes of hell, one for each sin. And this is a character being elected to be the new Prince of Wrath. And he has to he has to succeed in challenges given to him by the 6 other princes. And I have no idea what 3 of those challenges are going to be. And the downfall of not having a job that doesn't require my brain, but does require the entire rest of my body, as I don't have the time to like figure that out for 8 hours a day anymore. And now I'm just like staring stupidly at my screen.
Look at the trials Heracles went through for things. That might help.
Well, I need them to be themed based on what the other demons' sins are. And also, this is a comedy series. And I also have I already have a couple of callbacks to previous books in this.
Yeah.
So for the gluttony, the Prince of Gluttony, the first book in the series is actually a gluttony demon, not the prince, but another gluttony demon trying to get these lemon bars. So now the Prince of Gluttony wants those lemon bars as well. And then there's another one who I've made several references to him desperately wanting to be able to make hellfire on his own, even though only one prince can do that. So the demon's gonna have to give him this thing he has that makes hellfire. And then there's just gonna be a real awkward thing because his father-in-law is the Prince of Lost, and obviously he is married to that one's daughter. And they are having some bedroom difficulties because he has severe PTSD. So I've got those 3 worked out, and I gotta figure out. I think I know what I'm gonna do with the vanity demon, but I'm not sure. I gotta figure out what to do with the greed demon, and it's so hard to differentiate in my brain. I know what the differences are, but it's really hard for me to actively differentiate between greed and envy. So I already have the greed thing, and it makes sense why it's greed and not envy, or envy. I'm sorry. I've got envy worked out, and it makes sense how that is envy and not greed, but all the things that are popping in my head for greed are still kind of envy. So yeah, so it's just it's a weird little challenge. Pride, vanity, and greed. Those are the ones that I have left. The lemon
challenge doing a 12-year-old's makeup while they continue to snark at you the entire time.
Oh, that would be funny, but also this is a wrath demon, and I feel like terrible things would happen. Oh no! He also
Just
literally
the
lives.
argument.
Okay, so he lives with
The
a whole bunch
argument.
of teenage girls right now. Part of the reason that they need him to be the next Prince of Wrath is there are all of these orphaned witch teenagers. Well, they're teenager to young adult. And so there's this plan to lift part of hell to make it like a waypoint where people from hell and earth and heaven can all go there, and it'll be like an orphanage and all of that jazz. So yeah, he is up to his armpits in teenage girls right now.
So just snarkiest 12-year-old you can muster, sassiest, brattiest mood, sat there in a challenge to get the makeup done successfully. And just the entire time they're growl yelling at each other while trying to do the makeup, and she's trying not to move her face and he's just trying not to screw it up, while also incandescently trembling with rage as she manages to push all of his buttons at once, and he just does it directly back. And then once it's done, like yeah, just trying to work out a YouTube tutorial. She's snarky at him because he can't figure out how to mirror the thing.
That could potentially work for one of them.
It's just, I want to kill you, but I need to get this thing done, so we're just going to sit here and yell at each other, or else, God help me, you will be hanging from the rafters by your ankles for half an hour.
Literally, because like,
like, that'll be your punishment. Either stay still and stop snarking, or you will hang from the rafters. Deal.
Or you'll be stuck living with me forever as well.
Yeah.
That's where they are right now.
You know what?
Reading sprints right now. Courtney, what are you reading right now? I am currently reading These Violet Delights, and it is weirder than I was expecting it to be, but I am enjoying it.
Trial by Fire series is what I've been reading, like Raised by Wolves by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and the 2 other books after that. I first started reading them in middle school, and they just stuck in my head.
That's fair. I have not read them, but that's I see them referenced quite a bit. I've just never looked into them myself.
The one thing I'm disappointed is there is not a lot of fan fiction for it, and what fan fiction there is not substantial.
Oh,
like,
that's weird. I'm surprised.
Like, it's a very good series, and apparently it's really well read, but like, I guess it's kind of like the better written something is, the less fan fiction it has. I don't know.
Got it. That could be it. I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Like, it's a weird because I am surprised and also not surprised about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I could see, I guess it depends on your motivation to write fanfic.
Yeah.
Is it because you love it, or is it because you mostly loved it, but this thing could have been better?
Yeah, and it just depends, and I don't know. But I'm just sad because I am out of books. There's no more lore for me to consume. The Wikipedia page is incomplete, and there's no fanfic, and I am sad.
Melanie and Courtney are talking about reading multiple books at one time, and I absolutely cannot do that. I respect you guys for being able to do that, but I absolutely cannot. And if I am in the middle of reading a book and I pick up another one, it means that I hate that first book that I was reading and shall not continue. There are very, very rare exceptions when an author I love and who writes short reads puts something new out. But that is rare. That like what I would be reading would be a long enough read that I couldn't finish what I was doing to move on to that other one.
I'm reading like 4 to 5 different things right now, and it was like 10 yesterday before I finished a couple of them. I, I make poor choices, and my ADHD is raging.
Gotcha. If I skip to or if I move to another book and go back, I forget too much.
Yeah.
And I'm already one of those people who, like, if I'm watching TV, I'm also dicking around on my phone, and I miss like half of what I'm watching for that. I can't also be like that with books because there's nobody sitting next to me that I could be like, dude, what just happened? And get that from him. It is 25 past though. So, Melanie just mentioned Game of Thrones. Yeah, I don't think I could finish that book in one pass without moving to anything else. So I will give you credit. Something like that, you need to jump onto other things for a little while. Okay. We are going to write for the next 25 minutes. It is 25 past, so we'll see you guys at 10 of.
All right.
Okay, my camera is doing some real weird stuff right now. So I am just going to be a pineapple. Look at me being on a pineapple. We just accept these things and move on. Let me know how you guys did. I actually did make a little progress on this fact-finding thing. And then since we were talking about it, I popped onto Goodreads to mark that I'm currently reading These Violent Delights and discovered that there are people who were really upset that the main character, who is Romeo, it's a Romeo and Juliet story, his name is Roma, and apparently many people were outraged that he was given a woman's name. I wouldn't even think of Roma as being a woman's name. And I do know that in some cultures, like I know in India, they do have a goddess who has many names, but one of their names is Roma. But I also feel like we are a global enough society, especially among English speakers, that we're used to our names not necessarily being the same names, like having the same attributes in other countries. Especially you see that a lot between English names and French names, where a lot of French masculine names are very similar to English feminine names, and we all deal with that. So I was really weirded out to see that, like, there were many comments about, like, is this FF, or why would you name him that, stuff like that. Like, why is this the hot topic here? But also there is a trans character in it, and I believe another character is gay, and so she does, like, the author definitely does have the community in mind, but Roma is absolutely a boy.
Yeah. Also, quick thing, Nikki, check your inbox. She sent the link. You should be able to join.
Oh, hey, Nikki. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she's in the chat. You were signed up for today.
Like, if you don't want to join, that's cool. But if you do want to join, I did email.
It's there.
Y'all the link again. I think Nikki got it the first time, but maybe not. I don't know. But I emailed both of you anyway, because yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. What did you say? Oh, you said you didn't get that much done, right, Jay?
Okay. Yeah, I got like 90 words done. I have the amazing ability to type with my eyes closed, but I've got a headache, and it is making focusing on anything painful, because one of my ears decided to do the airplane thing, and it turns out that it's like got compacted wax, so I tried to take care of it, and now I have a headache because my ears hurt.
Yeah. Understandable.
I felt like one of my ears was stuffy. I didn't like the feeling. I tried to fix it. That backfired.
Also, how did everybody else do? I know we got some people watching today. Yeah. So there was that, and yes, Devin, there are always open co-hosting spots. Oh, Nikki, I'm sorry. Email, I have to like get on my other computer to even do that now, and Sandy was always the wrangler of the other email, so sorry, I just didn't see it. My bad. But yeah, so if you would like to join us again, you are certainly welcome to, but understandable. I know we've definitely had a few people have to cancel because of like family emergencies and sick and stuff like that. No big deal.
Stuff happens.
Yeah. So this is funny with the timing, but in one of my writing groups, I'm in this group that's just a like a DM group chat for indie authors, and it came up. Somebody was talking about Goodreads. A couple of people are really new, so we were going through like all the things that you need to do, like when you're heading toward your first publishing. Goodreads, and there was a whole conversation about like, oh, I already have a Goodreads account. I don't want to make another account. And everybody was like, you just use the same account. You don't need to make two accounts. So I hopped on there and was like, just so you know, like I only have one Goodreads account, but one thing I do know is that like if you are an author and you're in the habit of leaving negative reviews, not saying they're not warranted, but if you do leave negative reviews, you might not want to use your same account because of backlash. And also depending on what you read, like if you are reading and reviewing erotica, but you are writing cozy Christian mystery, you might want two accounts for that as well. You know, I mean, that is a little bit of advice for everybody, but like as long as there's nothing too inflammatory, which usually you don't have anything that inflammatory on Goodreads, but there's nothing wrong with using the same account as both a reader and an author. And it also kind of makes you more personable, I think, if you are also showing that you are a reader. But anyway, so I bring this up because that review, that 100th review that I got today was from another author, and it was a glowing review. It was not a huge review, but like everything in it, like all of the words that she used indicated that she really liked the book. The only negative thing that she had to say was that I am sometimes sparse on detail, which is absolutely true. I'm not somebody who writes a lot of physical descriptions, so like that wasn't anything alarming at all. But like this very glowing review, 3 stars. And and I was like, oh, right here is the author that you don't want to be using that account to give 3-star reviews. Her average is literally 3.07. So I am an average book to her. So I'm going to go ahead and say that if you are already on Goodreads and you are an active reviewer and now you are thinking of using that same account as your author account, if your average review is under 4 stars, probably don't do it.
Yeah.
It was very much like, I know that there are some genres that are much more harshly criticized. YA is, but this was a steamy holiday rom-com. This is not something that should be graded on such a hard scale.
Yeah.
So if you're giving me 3 stars, there needs to be like something majorly flawed in it, and just like not enough description.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do our 30-minute while Jay is. There we go. Oh my God, why am I forgetting how to do everything right now? There we go. Okay, so we're going to go for the next 30 minutes. It is right on the hour, so we will see y'all at 5:30 or half past. Good luck.
Hello.
Hello. Nope, I am still wow. That is a whole new crazy picture of me. Okay, back to pineapple. um,
Yeah.
yeah. How'd you guys do? Did you get any work
I
done
got
today?
I got 10 words and it was all literally gibberish because normally I can write fine with my eyes closed and it works, but my brain cannot focus enough to actually put sentences together. So I think what my brain is saying is that I am tired and directly after dinner I'm going the frick to bed.
Understandable. I
To be
oh, go ahead.
to be entirely fair, it's been like 24 hours since I went to sleep because I took my meds at 5 this morning and then tried to take a 3-hour nap. And
Gotcha.
that is the extent of the sleep I have had.
Understandable. Excuse me, as I'm now yawning. That is not your fault because you are not yawning. I'm just somebody who yawns a lot. And then I
It's
talk through
okay.
it, which just prolongs the entire thing. Oh, okay, good. Courtney is also tired. Courtney, did you finish the book entirely? And if so, what did you think of it? I've heard mixed reviews about it, but I also have heard so many reviews that I feel like there's a point where the reviews start to become negative because the reviews are too positive. So curious about that. I drew a map that does not work on a three-dimensional body of land, but that's okay because I was trying to get all the pieces together. So I will make that work later. And I figured out another one of those challenges. So that was good. That felt like a good way to spend a half hour.
Yeah. Does not help that my room is currently very cold, so the only way to combat that is to cuddle under a whole bunch of blankets.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
So I also look like I'm bundled up in bed, but that's because otherwise I start to shiver.
Yeah. Also, an update for you, Jay, because you were asking for anybody else who is curious. Sandy is leaving the hospital right now. So,
yay!
Returning to us within like the week. I know she is excited to get back to whatever normal life you can return to after having a kid. But yeah, she misses us and she'll be back soon.
I mean, it's mostly like normal life, but you also just have this tired bean that wants your attention. And they're pretty floppy at the beginning. It's mostly just feeding them and like making sure they feel okay.
Right. And also in this time of quarantine, I don't know, honestly. Like, I know her husband has been working from home the entire time, but I don't know if that's because that is his only option or if it's because since his pregnancy, um, they decided it was in everybody's best interest if he worked from home. So he might also be there, which, is helpful even if he's working. That's still kind of everything is a little bit different when you're working from home.
Yeah.
And Courtney says that she has not finished it, but she's hit her reading goal. Likes the writing style, but the pacing is a little off. That's fair. That's been a lot of stuff that I've been reading lately, and I don't know if it's me or if it's the books. Also, the last thing that I read before Lights had a bunch of flashbacks in it, and I got really mad about it. But then I was like, am I being pedantic about flashbacks?
Yeah.
But then the book that I'm reading now has 0 flashbacks and has a pretty analogous backstory to the one that was having all of the flashbacks. And this one is so much better. Both stories. So These Violent Delights is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, but it's extremely different. And in it, the story takes place when they're 19. So they've already had a thing when they were like 14 or 15 that ended badly. Obviously not in the way Romeo and Juliet was. And like Mercutio and characters like that are still around. So, you know, and again, we really don't know that much about what happened there yet. I'm about halfway through. But so that other book that I was reading that had all of those flashbacks in it, where it was literally like this chapter is a flashback. That was another thing where they had like a puppy love romance that ended badly, and now they were forced back together. And in comparing the two, the one without the flashbacks is way better for the way that the little, you know, hints of exposition are woven into it that make you think like, I wonder what was going on there, but I bet I'll find out later, so I'm not going to get mad about it, instead of it being like right in your face.
I think the main issue with Romeo and Juliet itself is it's mostly a story about a whole bunch of adults effing up and leaving their 14-year-olds vulnerable.
Oh yeah, it's not about romance at all. It's about politics.
It's like, if any of the factors had been different, if the priest had gone, I am going to tell your parents because this is not a sane idea. I'm not giving you poison. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Or like,
that is a lot how these Violent Delights is, but in these Violent Delights, they're 19. They're not 14. So that helps some, but also there's very much, and Shakespeare, it is written in a modern tongue, and it is very much from their perspectives. They do have those comments about how much bullshit this is, that the parents are basically leaving them to do what they have to do.
Yeah. And like, they forced me to read Romeo and Juliet in school, so I'm just thinking through it. And like, Romeo had an older cousin with him during the first, like, inciting battle, right?
Yeah, he had Benvolio with him, who I believe is a cousin.
And he was older.
I believe so, but not like adult older. Like,
but as an older sibling,
I believe there's like a 3-year gap between them.
14 and 17 are very different ages, and as the eldest cousin of 7, because my mom's one of 5, it is basically entirely on your head to keep the stupid bullshit like people climbing on cabinets and things from happening. So like, there's also a feeling on a familial level of none of the older siblings and like cousins of like actually doing the thing where they're like, we need to walk away. Like, we're gonna take the side street and we're just keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything to them. Don't acknowledge them. They do not exist. We are going to keep walking. We are going to go home and tell mom and dad, and that's it. But so
I read it 2 years before the Juliet was released. So first of all, most of my Romeo and Juliet knowledge comes from that movie, just because it completely eclipsed the 1970s movie, and then 9th grade English class.
I had to read the entire screenplay freshman year of high school.
Yeah. Oh my. And this is the big cat, and it scared the crap out of me. What are you doing, dog? Anyway, so yeah, so like we did it all, and then 2 years later, that movie came out, and it just, you know, kind of rewrote everything we felt about Romeo and Juliet. Because the movie was so good. But you know, it was done perfectly for that era. But yeah, like in the movie, Benvolio is very much depicted as like, he is a young adult, and he's got his buddies who are a whole bunch of dude bros, and they're all like, very like juvenile asshole. I just got out of my parents' house and now I'm going to dick around a whole bunch. But Benvolio himself does have a bit of a grounding role for Romeo. Even though he is with this group of Kyles,
ruffians.
All right, he's kind of the dad of the Kyles.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really interesting seeing how book, because it takes place in 1920s Shanghai. And there's a monster in it. An actual plague bearing, basically, monster. And I believe it is meant to be, I'm still working through it, but I believe it's meant to be a manifestation of the Communist Party, because this was also when communism was starting to take hold in China. So I feel like it is what's the right term for that? Where it's turning hyperbolic monster or the metaphor? What was that?
Red Scare metaphor, maybe?
No, oh God, what is it called? Oh, like when you take a concept and turn it into a human, or an animal and turn it into a
personification?
Human. Yes.
Or anthropomorphization.
No, still not quite what I'm looking for, though.
Anthropomorphized?
I feel like there is a very exact word. You know what? I can find this out really quickly, though, because it's always what they Mask of the Red Death. It's always the term that they use to describe that.
Yeah.
Because
of doom.
It's an actual person walking through, but it is the well, that's allegory, but that's not the right term either. This is terrible. I hate when I do stuff like this. There's been, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's been this meme going around about how I write versus how I talk. And how I write, I don't know who it is who's actually pictured, but it's a very prim and proper looking person. And then the person for the how I talk is that Tiger King guy. Anthropomorphism is absolutely the word.
I think I said anthropomorphized, but you might have not heard me.
I might not have.
But yeah.
Yeah, so that is absolutely the word I was looking for. And now my cat is trying to attack the and get anthropomorphism. I believe you did spell that correctly, though. Let's go ahead and get our last sprint going, though. But yeah, so I feel like that a lot when I'm doing these shows. Like I know I write pretty, but I don't talk pretty.
My ADHD just spits things out. Writing means that I get to edit it before anybody sees it.
Yeah. When I write, I don't forget words like book. All right. So it is about 1:15, and we're going to go for the next 10 minutes. So we'll see you guys at 5 up.
sounds like you have one of those wind-up chickens on your desk.
That's fair. I won't argue that.
Just
yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Were you able to get anything done in that?
Oh no, I'm exhausted.
The cat sat right between me and the monitor. Yeah, no. So I just ended up brushing him instead.
You know what? Productivity sprint. Brush the cat.
Yeah, I mean they're both valid.
Besides, that cat is very fluffy. If you don't brush him on a regular basis, that is going to be a hellish visit to the groomers.
Yeah, and he doesn't always like being brushed, so we take it when we can get it. Yeah.
It's like, better brush now than holding the cat down with a pair of scissors later.
Yes, or like...
I've had to do that before.
Yeah, we have to cone. We've had to cover the cone with a blanket. It's gotten really dramatic sometimes. Yeah. So, that is everything for today. The closing words for today.
Hey, I'm Jay. I've got a YouTube channel, which I've linked in here before. I don't think we have anybody new.
And I believe it is linked in our... Oh my God, sorry. The cat is on the other side of my door now, but it's trying to grab the sleeve of a shirt that I have in my laundry basket. Anyways, I just saw a motion and it freaked me out. Okay, so yes, it should be linked in the footnotes as well.
Nifty.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. Your turn.
Awesome. So I am Chloe Alice Balkin. My latest release, A Valentine Demon for Verity, is on Kindle Unlimited and on Amazon as of Saturday. This week, we do have that holiday coming up, so I will be doing my regular stream tomorrow at 8 a.m., Wednesday at 8 p.m., and Thursday at 10 a.m., I believe I'm going to be actually doing a Christmas one at noon Eastern. I'm still debating about that, but I believe I will be doing that. And then I will also be doing another cheesecake productivity sprint, probably tomorrow evening. So just make sure you like and subscribe and all of that, and you should be getting updates on all of those. So that is everything for today then. Usually I wave really awkwardly to say bye to you guys, but this is not me right now.
You are a void.
You guys all have a great rest of your day, and we will see you later. Bye, guys.